Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next hour. Angola President Lourenço strongly condemns Pahalgam terror attack, expresses solidarity with India in tackling terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism. India's DRDO successfully conducts maiden flight trials of Stratospheric Airship platform, will enhance India's Earth observation and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. Israel calls on Qatar to stop playing both sides in Gaza ceasefire and hostage talks. Qatar denies allegations, says Israel PM's comments lack political and moral responsibility. Singapore's ruling People's Action Party scores another big election victory, wins 87 of 97 seats, 14th successive victory of PAP. And the first ever global summit on new age entertainment waves set to conclude today. Representatives of over 75 countries participate in the event that promised to make India a global hub for content creation. Angola President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço on Saturday condemned the Pahalgam terror attack. The Angola President, the current chair of the 55-member African Union, also expressed solidarity with India in tackling terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism.
Angola foi das primeiras a reagir imediatamente após os tristes acontecimentos na região de Caxemira, em que vitimaram vidas humanas. Portanto, a seu devido tempo, fizemos chegar às autoridades indianas os nossos sentimentos de pesar ao povo indiano e às famílias enlutadas, uma vez que tratou-se de um ato de terrorismo e Angola, obviamente, que condena qualquer tipo de terrorismo, não importa onde ele seja cometido. Dado para, mais uma vez, reiterarmos a nossa solidariedade para com o povo indiano neste momento difícil e fazer votos de que a sabedoria indiana conseguirá ultrapassar este momento difícil, superar este desafio que está a enfrentar, sem que se eleve para níveis insustentáveis o nível de tensão existente.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday held bilateral talks with Angolan President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço in New Delhi. Both countries signed 3 MOUs. Besides, Indian government has approved the Angolan request of line of credit of $200 million for defense procurement. Moreover, Angola signed the International Solar Alliance Framework Agreement and became the 123rd member of the ISA.
Angola President Lourenço arrived in New Delhi and received a ceremonial welcome. He paid his respects to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat, where he also signed the Visitor's Book. Later, he held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi announced a significant $200 million line of credit extended by India to support the modernization of Angola's defense forces.
मुझे यह घोषणा करते हुए खुशी है कि अंगोला की सेनाओं के आधुनिकीकरण के लिए $200 मिलियन की डिफेंस क्रेडिट लाइन को स्वीकृति दी गई है। रक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म्स के रिपेयर और ओवरहॉल और सप्लाई पर भी बात हुई है। अंगोला की सशस्त्र सेनाओं की ट्रेनिंग में सहयोग करने में हमें खुशी होगी।
Beyond defense, the two nations also formalized cooperation in several other crucial sectors. Memorandum of Understanding was signed in the fields of traditional medicine, agriculture, and cultural exchange, signaling a commitment to diversify their partnership. India also pledged to share its expertise and capabilities with Angola in the areas of digital public infrastructure, space technology, and capacity building.
3 memorandum of understandings were concluded today in the presence of the two leaders. One is pertaining to cooperation agriculture. The second is cultural cooperation, and the third is in the area of traditional medicine and Ayurveda.
The visit holds particular significance as 2025 marks the 40th anniversary of the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between India and Angola. Historically, India demonstrated solidarity with Angola by supporting its freedom struggle against Portuguese colonial rule, culminating in Angola's independence in 1975. Economic ties between the two nations are currently underpinned by a strong energy partnership, with Angola being a major oil producer in Africa. India stands as Angola's second largest trading partner, accounting for approximately 10% of Angola's external trade. However, there is a growing focus on diversifying this economic partnership. India exports goods worth $700 million to Angola, including refined oil products, engineering goods, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, plastic, food items, and chemicals. Furthermore, Indian companies have invested in Angola across various sectors such as retail, FMCG, plastic, metal, diamond polishing, pharmaceuticals, garments, hospitals, cement, and restaurant, with an estimated presence of over 200 Indian firms in the country. Looking ahead, Angola chairmanship of the African Union will add another layer of strategic importance to its relationship with India. Bureau Report, DD India.
And India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held talks with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Friday. In a post on social media, Dr. Jaishankar said that he discussed the Pahalgam terrorist attack with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Its perpetrators, backers and planners must be brought to justice. The two leaders also spoke about the bilateral cooperation activities between the two sides. An Indian Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi met Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence on Saturday. The meeting took place days after PM Modi chaired a meeting which was attended by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan and 3 service chiefs. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval was also present at the meeting. A meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security was held a day after the terror attack on tourists in Pahalgam, in which 26 people were killed. India has announced a series of measures, including putting the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance to send a strong message to Pakistan for its support to cross-border terrorism. Meanwhile, Pakistan Army posts resorted to unprovoked small arms fire during the night of 3rd and 4th May across the LOC in areas opposite Kupwara, Baramulla, Poonch, Rajouri, Mendhar, Naushera, Sundarbani and Akhnur in J&K. Indian Army responded promptly and proportionately. Meanwhile, according to Border Security Force sources, a Pakistani ranger has been apprehended by the BSF along the India-Pakistan border in Rajasthan. The ranger has been taken into custody and being questioned. All right, we'll go across to DD India's Vishal Barrister is joining us live from Srinagar. Vishal, tell us how's the situation at the LOC in view of the ceasefire violations?
Well, Abhishek, the situation continues to be tense here, there at the line of control, and not only LOC but also the international border, because Pakistan continues to violate the ceasefire, and the agreement of 2013 now is in jeopardy. Let me tell you that last night also there were 8 different locations from where Pakistan started firing, and these were Baramulla, Kupwara, along with 8 different locations. So Indian Army has been responding to these ceasefire violations for more than 10 days now, and this is a strategy of Pakistan, because this is a cover fire and they want to infiltrate more and more terrorists. Remember, Pakistan army has full control over the country and the government seems helpless despite the international pressure growing over Pakistan. The government seems helpless and it has no control. It continues to say that we are trying to resolve the issue. We are ready for a joint investigation, to which India has already rejected. Meanwhile, you also heard how a Pakistani ranger was taken into custody by the Border Security Force, which is India's first line of defense. He is being also questioned. So Pakistan's army is trying its level best. Even the Pak Rangers are controlled by the Pakistan army. So now the situation is turning against Pakistan. The global pressure is turning against Pakistan, and despite of all measures taken by India, Pakistan army continues with its nefarious design against India. Abhishek?
Vishal, also tell us, since you are there in Srinagar, what is the current situation on ground there? Are the tourists still coming at different places, and how are locals reacting to the situation?
Well, Abhishek, the footfall of the tourists has fallen down drastically. Let me tell you that people are now expecting an action from India's side. But still, tourists are there. There is no closure of tourism here in Jammu and Kashmir. 87 out of 87 total destinations, 48 have been closed, and security has been tightened simply because of security reasons, because the government and the security agencies apprehend that they could serve as possible hideouts for the fleeing terrorists and also the overground workers who are supporting these terrorists. The National Investigating Agency is already spearheading the investigation. So India is going all out to defend and also avenge the killing of 26 people there in Pahalgam and also defend its territorial integrity. Abhishek?
Before we leave you, Vishal, how is the global pressure, international pressure on Pakistan growing with every passing day?
Well, absolutely. You heard this attack took place when the American Vice President Vance was here, and then the American government also coming all out in support of Indian government against the state-sponsored terrorism of Pakistan. The West is in support, France is in support, and also even the Asian and African countries, they have also declared their support for India. And India, after taking care of its international diplomatic efforts, it is also going all out. The trade is now totally blocked against Pakistan. The airspace stands blocked. Their YouTubes have been blocked. But let me tell you that Pakistan continues. And yesterday also there were cyber attacks. And Indian army is always on guard, not relenting. You heard the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, also meeting the Prime Minister, briefing him about the current situation and also the steps taken by the Jammu and Kashmir government. After he left the Prime Minister's, he left after meeting the Prime Minister. The Chief of Indian Navy also met the Prime Minister earlier. The Prime Minister also chaired a high-level meeting with the Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force chiefs, along with the Chief of Defence Staff and the NIA chief. And the Prime Minister has given clear directions that you know what you are supposed to do. So the pressure is building on Pakistan, and there are overnight movements of Indian Army, and the pressure is growing and the tension is growing on the LOC. So we are expecting an action. So because of that, the tourist numbers have also gone down, but the locals, they are quite against this terrorism, especially the attack that took place in Pahalgam, because they know that it has hurt their economy and hurt their economy very badly. Now India will avenge and the things would get worse. Abhishek?
All right, Vishal, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest on that story. In a significant demonstration of solidarity, the members of the Indian diaspora in Germany organized a peaceful protest march in Munich to condemn the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam. The protest saw over 700 participants from various communities as well as Indian students. Participants condemned the violence and expressed solidarity with the victims. The event was also attended by German Member of Parliament Professor Dr. Hans Theis and Munich City Councillor Delija Bali Demarsh, underscoring broad support for the stand against terrorism. We are slipping into a very short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India News Hour. Indian Navy's IOS Saga sails to Maldives after Seychelles' triumph. First batch of Hajj pilgrims leave for Makkah, Saudi Arabia. And special story on India-Netherlands relationship, the rising Indian community in the Netherlands.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. The Defence Research and Development Organisation successfully conducted the maiden flight trials of its Stratospheric airship platform on May 3rd from the Shiopur trial site in Madhya Pradesh. Developed by Aerial Delivery Research and Development Establishment, Agra, the airship was launched carrying an instrumental payload to an altitude of around 17 kilometers. Data from onboard sensors was received and would be utilized for development of high-quality fidelity simulation models for future high-altitude airship flights. Trial team recovered the system for further investigation. The total duration of the flight was about 62 minutes. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has congratulated DRDO for the successful maiden flight trial of the system. He stated that this system will uniquely enhance India's Earth observation and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities, making the country one of the few countries in the world having such indigenous capabilities. Now, Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal is in London amid the ongoing talks between the two countries on free trade agreement, where he visited International Centre for Sustainability on Saturday. Taking to X, Piyush Goyal said that he met with the founding trustee of International Centre for Sustainability, Sachin Nanda, and discussed the work being done by the centre to enhance the understanding about India's sustainability efforts and to strengthen India-UK ties. Earlier, Piyush Goyal also met representatives of various other Indian organisations based in UK. Now, in a mission to boost maritime cooperation, the Indian Navy's IOS Saga left Port Victoria, Seychelles on May 2, 2025 after a successful visit filled with professional and cultural exchanges. The ship, carrying 44 naval personnel from 9 Southwest Indian Ocean nations, is now headed to Maldives for its final stop. Earlier, IOS Saga visited Tanzania, Mozambique and Mauritius, training with local navies to enhance regional security. The deployment reflects India's commitment to fostering unity and safety in the Indian Ocean under its Saga initiative. Now, all the updates on Waves 2025, India's first of its kind World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit in Mumbai. The first ever global summit on new age entertainment waves set to conclude in Mumbai today. Representatives of over 75 countries are participating in the event that promised to make India a global hub for content creation. Multiple sessions, including master classes and workshops, will be held on the final day of the World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit. Now, Motion Picture Association released a report on Day 3 of the Waves 2025 Summit on Saturday. Addressing the launch event, India's Minister of State of Information and Broadcasting, L. Murugan, said that MPA report highlights the industry's strategic importance, how it can be critical for job creation and economic growth.
The report of the Motion, friends, the report of the Motion Picture Association highlights the significant economic contribution of Indian film, television, online curated content industry. In 2020-24, the sector generated a combined gross output of rupees 2.77 lakh crore with a total gross value added of rupees 1.44 lakh crore. It is also supported more than 26 lakhs jobs across the direct and indirect revenue of the employment. This data reaffirms the industry's strategic importance not only as a cultural driver but also a critical engine of job creation and economic growth.
An Indian actor Amir Khan held an interactive session with aspiring actors and filmmakers on the art of acting on day 3 of Wave Summit. Sharing insight on acting, the actor highlighted the importance of improvisation in the field.
Improvisation is a great thing, but you should do it well in advance. That's one. So therefore, because you're doing it in advance, it then becomes part of your rehearsal, and then it no longer remains an improvisation when you're on set, if you know what I mean. But the exercise of going through improvisation is a very important exercise because it gives you an idea of the different ways in which you can do something, unexpected ways in which you can do something, and it also opens up your mind in different ways.
And film sound designer Resul Pukute hailed Indian government's initiative Waves 2025, calling it a platform that aims to boost India's media and entertainment industry with global participation. Listen in.
Creating a summit like this, Waves, is actually, for me, I look at it as a World Economic Forum for media and entertainment sector. That is what the future of it is. And that was only possible because this platform was created, you know. And there is this government that thought that it is required to have a platform like this where, you know, practitioners can come and discuss and exchange ideas. And people from all over the world can come and share their knowledge and experiences, and an industry can evolve and move forward. And I think that is a great gesture. I think I thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and all the people that who thought about this and put it together so that, you know, we have a platform.
And DD India's Shama Mishra has been covering this summit, and she's joining us live from Mumbai. Shama, good morning. Last day of Waves 2025 today. What do we look forward to on the last day, and how has been the response overall of the summit?
Well, Abhishek, with a heavy heart, we have to say the Wave Summit will culminate today, will conclude today, and a lot has happened in these 3 days. Today also, we are seeing a lot of master classes that are currently on. One master class is on XR, one master class is on AVGCA, and in times of AI. These many days, or even before that, we did see Create in India challenges that took place, and it shaped so many people, the participants' way of working. And one of them is the anime and manga challenge. We have Ankur Bhasin with us. He is from the Media and Entertainment Association of India. Ankur, how was Wave Summit so far? How has been so far? And what is going to happen today?
The Wave Summit has been totally exciting. We have had the showcase of the works of the finalists, which we picked up from 11 cities in 10 states. We have had amazing interaction with people from Japan. Hideo Katsumata-san and the entire team was here yesterday. He is the president of AVEX Pictures, which is the principality behind Anime Times. And they are very keen to pick up some of these works to make originals out of them, and that is the excitement in the industry. We in fact had Toon Sutra also come up and put in special awards and distribution deal for the webtoon. And we have Crunchyroll, who has come on board for the cash awards for the participants, and today we are going to announce the finale winners who are getting an all-expense paid trip to Anime Japan. That is of course exciting, but all the participants are more excited also to meet Takahiro-san, who is the ex-TVSI, and all the other jury members who are going to sit with them and give them specific inputs on how to improve your IPs and monetize them.
All right, so that's a very big announcement over here, that all trip paid to Japan, and that's something anybody who's related to cosplay or anime, manga is looking forward to. We also have Gopi Chitela from the Indian music industry. How has been for the music industry this Wave Summit so far? Come this side. So far, and how would you summarize it?
Yeah, for summarizing from day 1 to day 4, it has been excellently growing. And thank you for the opportunity for my association, the Indian music industry, and also MIB for organizing Waves. This is just a stepping stone for all the budding artists, and this is where they get the limelight they want, and this is where they get the this is where the major doors and windows will be open for these new entrants, and I hope this gives them all the success they deserve.
What is happening today?
So today, all the EDM final winners, the 3 persons will be performing for each 30 minutes from 4:30 to 6 p.m. That's a major chance for them because now they'll be performing in front of the global audience here.
All right.
So for that, 90 minutes is a great thing for them.
Okay. So 90 minutes is definitely a great thing. And the 3 winners that he's talking about, we did speak to them, and we had also made a story on them. These people are amazing artists and coming out from various places. One of them is from Pune, 2 of them are from Mumbai. So definitely it's going to be a huge honor for the city and for the state as well, because something which is going to go on the global stage will give us recognition, and Wave Summit is exactly that platform which is going to be providing a lot of opportunities, not just today, not just in this summit, but also going forward, and it will obviously give a major boost to the creators' economy.
Shama, these people also, everyone has been hailing this initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and how it has been a great opportunity for young creators to learn from the best in the fraternity. I mean, different sessions have been happening, and entertainment industry also, in fact, has been vocal about how it has brought everyone together.
Yes, everyone together, and since day 1, Abhishek, we are seeing that there are so many people, right from the person who's very, very established, to the person who's just entered this industry. They've all been here, and how we've been saying this place is a melting pot. This is exactly that place, and it really defines, self-describes itself. We'll also again go back to Ankur to ask your question. Ankur, my anchor had asked that right from the person who's just starting, or maybe a new talent, they are getting a platform over here. I remember one winner from cosplay. He just registered and he was declared the winner. So what's the cosplay or other opportunities for these artists and participants?
Sure. So we've had, even now, the finale participants that we have today who are waiting for the announcement of the awards, we have people as young as 14 and as old as 44. So, students who are, who haven't even formally learned this art form are competing in their category, and then there's a separate category for professionals. Waves is the starting point, and this is what we are telling them, is because we are going to handhold them and take them for building their own IPs, holding special performances across the country. So Waves is not ending today. Waves is starting from here onwards.
Okay. That's a very brilliantly put sentence, that because we were everyone who just we were just saying on the day 1 that what really comes out on day 4, and this is what comes out on day 4, that it is just the beginning, and as we are terming it as a movement, this is definitely a movement for everything which is related to the media and entertainment. Also, Abhishek, I'd like to show you some visuals if we can get aside, so that these things over here, these structures that have been created, and a mega creatosphere word over here has been put through. Now the day 3 and day 4 is all about public. There will be master classes, there will be so many other activities, but there will be people coming out from Mumbai, from Maharashtra and nearby areas, who will be coming out without the badges, without the prior registrations, and they can all come and learn so much about the media and entertainment industry. Also, there are so many selfie points put up. The entire area, the entire Geo World Convention Center has been turned into, it's drenched into the fervor of Waves, and it is one celebration that they will remember for the lifetime, or at least till the 2nd edition comes up. Abhishek.
All right, Shama, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs from Mumbai. Moving on, the first batch of Hajj pilgrims in Srinagar is departing for Saudi Arabia's Mecca to undertake the annual holy pilgrimage to Kaaba for religious duty. Many pilgrims will be departing from Srinagar every year. Millions of Muslims around the world embark on the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca. The pilgrimage is considered by believers of the Islamic faith to be immensely significant as it allows them to connect with Allah, seek forgiveness and strengthen their faith. All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching DD India News Hour. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Recap of our top stories. Angola President Lourenço strongly condemns Pahalgam terror attack, expresses solidarity with India in tackling terrorism in all its form, including cross-border terrorism. India's DRDO successfully conducts maiden flight trials of Stratospheric Airship platform, will enhance India's Earth observation and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. Israel calls on Qatar to stop playing both sides in Gaza ceasefire and hostage talks. Qatar denies allegations, says Israel PM's comments lack political and moral responsibility. Singapore's ruling People's Action Party scores another big election victory, wins 87 of 97 seats, 14th successive victory of PAP. PM Modi congratulates Singapore PM Wong on his election victory. And the first ever global summit on New Age entertainment waves set to conclude today. Representatives of over 75 countries participate in the event that promise to make India a global hub for content creation. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office on Saturday called on Qatar to stop playing both sides in its mediation efforts between Israel and Hamas. Despite efforts by Egyptian and Qatari mediators to restore a ceasefire, neither Israel nor Hamas has shown willingness to back down on core demands, with each side blaming the other for the failure to reach a deal. Israel, which wants the return of 59 hostages still held in Gaza, has insisted Hamas must disarm and be excluded from any role in the future governance of the enclave, a condition that Hamas rejects. It has insisted on agreeing a lasting end to the fighting and withdrawal of Israeli forces as a condition for a deal that would see a release of the hostages. Meanwhile, Gaza mediator Qatar on Sunday rejected comments from Netanyahu that it needed to stop playing both sides in truce negotiations. And Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said in a post on X that Qatar firmly rejects the inflammatory statements. He stated that the state of Qatar continues to work closely with both the Arab Republic of Egypt and the United States of America to secure an immediate ceasefire, ensure the uninterrupted flow of humanitarian aid, and advance a just and lasting peace, one grounded in justice and humanity. The Israel Defense Forces said that it was sending out tens of thousands of call-up orders to reservists as the military was set to significantly expand its offensive against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. According to the IDF, tens of thousands of reservists being called up would begin to show up in the military in the coming week. The reservists have likely been called up multiple times already during the conflict. On Friday, during a security consultation, the military presented Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with his planned staged offensive in Gaza, which will require substantial mobilization. Israel resumed major operations across Gaza on March 18 amid deadlock over how to proceed with a two-month ceasefire that had largely halted the offensive sparked by Hamas's October 2023 attack. All right, DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us to talk more on this. Akshay, how do we see the statement of Israel calling Qatar to stop playing both sides and Qatar too reacting to it?
Well, Abhishek, as per our understanding, the statement that has come from Israel, accusing Qatar of playing both sides is coming slightly a bit late because we have seen that while Qatar has agreed to mediate as far as this war is concerned, they had clearly chosen a side. The narrative that has been built by Qatar is also quite specifically against Israel. So Israel, coming out now after a long time, over a year of this conflict that has resulted in so many deaths. Qatar has been trying to play a role of mediator, but what it has been doing, according to Israel, is only funding Hamas and keeping this war continuing and going on. So this is what seems to have triggered this response from the Israeli Prime Minister and his office nonetheless. But the kind of response that has come in from Qatar once again has questioned its position as a mediator. Because the role of a mediator is to remain impartial, but it seems that Qatar is coming with some preconceived notions, not some, in fact, some major preconceived notions. It hosts the office of Hamas leadership as well. So there you can clearly see which side Qatar is on. And while it has been claiming to be, playing a role of the mediator, if it would have done that, actively, and if it would have pressurized Hamas into conceding some of the demands that they are making or into conceding into what Israel is asking, perhaps the war could have died down sooner. And we wouldn't be in the situation that the ceasefire and keeps on being broken by both the parties, and then escalation happening by both the sides.
Actually, we are also hearing that Israel's Security Cabinet is scheduled to meet today on Sunday to approve the expansion of the military offensive. What is the latest on that?
Well, Abhishek, so if you look at the political spectrum of Israel right now, the party of Benjamin Netanyahu is not in full majority. They have support of the right-wing political parties of Israel as well, and they have been pressurizing Benjamin Netanyahu to expand the war, to continue the war, as far as Gaza is concerned, Hamas is concerned. So it seems that political pressure is now building up on Israeli Prime Minister's office as well.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs. Singapore's ruling People's Action Party scores another big election win by winning its 14th successive election on Saturday. The party secured 87 out of 97 seats, reaffirming its dominant position in the political landscape, offering Prime Minister Lawrence Wong a clear mandate to navigate the trade-oriented Southeast Asian nation through economic upheaval sparked by looming US tariffs. Wong, who took over from Lee Hsien Loong, faced his first major electoral test amid a more energized opposition. However, voters ultimately backed the PAP's promise of continuity and stability. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his congratulations to Lawrence Wong on his victory in the Singapore general elections. He emphasized the strong and multifaceted partnership underpinned by close people-to-people ties between India and Singapore. And Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left Labour Party won over the Conservative opposition in the nationwide federal election on Saturday. Our next report tells you how Albanese won a strong mandate to become the first Australian Prime Minister to win a consecutive term in 2 decades.
Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left Labour Party won a second term in government on Saturday night, dealing a crushing defeat to its Conservative rivals. Albanese, in his victory speech, said that Australians voted for Australian values as Labour wins elections.
In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination. Australians have chosen to face global challenges the Australian way, looking after each other while building for the future. And to serve these values, meet these challenges, seize these opportunities and build that better and stronger future, Australians have chosen a majority Labor government.
Australia's right-leaning opposition leader, Peter Dutton, conceded defeat and congratulated Albanese on his victory. He had lost his own parliamentary seat.
Now, we didn't do well enough during this campaign. That much is obvious tonight, and I accept full responsibility for that. Earlier on, I called the Prime Minister to congratulate him on his success tonight. It's an historic occasion for the Labor Party, and we recognise that. I congratulated the Prime Minister and wished he and Jody and Nathan all the very best. And I said to the Prime Minister that his mum would be incredibly proud of his achievement tonight, and he should be very proud of what he's achieved.
It was a hard-fought contest between party leaders with sharply contrasting visions for the country. Albanese would be the first Australian Prime Minister to win a consecutive term in 2 decades. Bureau Report, DD India.
And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Albanese on the resounding victory in Australia polls. In a social media post on X, PM Modi said, and I quote him here, "Congratulations, Albanese, on your resounding victory and re-election as Prime Minister of Australia. This emphatic mandate indicates the enduring faith of the Australian people in your leadership. I look forward to working together to further deepen the India-Australia comprehensive strategic partnership and advance our shared vision for peace, stability and prosperity in Indo-Pacific." And Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese goes for coffee in Sydney a day after he triumphed in national elections. The left-leaning leader saw off his conservative rival Saturday in a contest swayed by economic upheaval and US President Donald Trump. Albanese's victory cements his leadership amid shifting political dynamics in the region, with many Australians backing his promises of steady economic management, climate action and social reform. And Romanians returned to the polls on Sunday for a rerun of November's annual presidential election, with a far-right candidate again expected to win the first round. The Constitutional Court cancelled the last vote following a massive TikTok campaign and claims of Russian interference that favoured far-right NATO critic Calin Georgescu. 11 candidates are standing in Romania's presidential election first round. Georgescu, who had won the initial first round, was barred from the rerun, sparking sometimes violent protest. He has effectively been replaced by far-right politician George Simeon. The latest opinion polls out Simeon, leader of the nationalist AUR party, on course to win the rerun first-round vote. Now, Gabon's ex-junta chief Brice Oligui Nguema was sworn in as the country's 4th president, signalling a return to constitutional order after nearly 2 years of political transition. Nguema was sworn in as president in front of approximately 40,000 people, including 16 African heads of state, during ceremony near Libreville. Nguema took nearly 95% of the vote in Gabon's first election since Oligui toppled Ali Bongo in August 2023. Nguema swept elections on April 12 with nearly 95% of the vote, defeating 7 other candidates, including outgoing Prime Minister Alain Claude Bilé-Bienzé, who finished second with just 3%. None of the other candidates scored more than 1%. Addressing the Gabonese people, Nguema pledged to renew democracy in a country which has only had 4 presidents since gaining independence in 1960. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Saturday that US President Donald Trump had proposed sending US troops to Mexico to combat drug trafficking, but said she had rejected that offer because sovereignty is not for sale. Sheinbaum's comments were in response to questions about a report published on May 2nd that said Trump was pressuring Mexico to allow deeper US military involvement against drug cartels to combat trafficking across the shared border. Speaking at a public event on Saturday, Sheinbaum said Trump had asked her during a call how he could help fight organized crime and suggested sending US troops. The Mexican leader said she declined Trump's offer.
In one of the calls, President Trump said it was important for the US Army to enter Mexico to help us in the fight against drug trafficking. I propose that we can collaborate, we can work together, but you can do it in your own territory. We can do it in ours. We can share information, but we will never accept the presence of the US Army in our territory.
Now in the Netherlands, the Indian community is growing not just in numbers but in influence. From business to culture, Indians are helping shape the relationship between the two countries. Here's a look at how the diaspora is strengthening ties between India and the Netherlands.
The community in the Netherlands is growing and thriving. From working in tech companies and research labs to running successful businesses, Indians are making their mark on the Dutch economy. They celebrate Diwali, Holi and Republic Day with just as much color and joy as back home, preserving their roots while fully integrating into Dutch society. And beyond culture and commerce, the Indian diaspora plays an increasingly vital role in strengthening India-Netherlands relations. But in what ways is the Indian diaspora strengthening economic ties between India and the Netherlands?
The Indian diaspora is extremely important for the strengthening of the ties between the Netherlands and India, especially as they are actually the living bridge between the two countries. They are very much aware of how we are doing things here, which is quite different from what they're used to doing in India, and they can be the catalyst between the two countries. So we're very happy to have them here.
I think this is very important because the Indian community that is here in Netherlands, they actually constitute a segment which is very well educated, they're highly qualified.
We know with the growth that India is bringing that it has a fantastic mentality in doing business, building its ground up from family values built on the proud of the family, the village, the town and the country. That's the way people are proud of what they're doing, also in doing business, which is an amazing way of doing business together. We really enjoy that, and I personally do. But that's different here. Here we have the difference between private life and business life. And in India, it's one and the same thing. So that's something where also the Indian diaspora can add to informing business people here that it's done differently.
So this knowledge can be used to create very interesting, very useful collaborations between Netherlands and India.
Mark Limburg reporting from the Netherlands for DD India.
All right, sports updates now. We'll start with Fit India Cycling. Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, led a special edition of the Fit India Sundays on Cycle campaign with teachers, coaches and mentors. Its objective to spread the message of fitness and fight against obesity. The campaign titled Cycling with Teachers aims to improve people's health, boost mental well-being and reduce obesity. To give fillip to Fit India Sundays on Cycle initiative, Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, joined a special edition of the campaign titled Cycling with Teachers. Highlighting the role of educators, teachers, coaches and mentors, the event aims to further the fight against obesity. Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia led the cycle ride from Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium, where the key participants were teachers, sportspersons, children and general public. The 3-kilometer race concluded at the same venue with an aim to spread the message of fitness. Dr. Mandavia urged people to make cycling part of their routine as it not only improves physical fitness but also helps in reducing pollution.
7,000 से अधिक स्थानों पर देश के टीचर्स ने साइकिलिंग करके देश को संदेश दिया है। संडे ऑन साइकिल से हम फिट रहते हैं। फिट रहने के लिए शारीरिक करना बहुत आवश्यक है। साइकिलिंग एक ऐसी एक्सरसाइज है जिससे फिट इंडिया का मंत्र भी सोल्व होता है, जिसमें ओबेसिटी के अगेंस्ट मोदी जी की लड़ाई को भी हम आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। संडे ऑन साइकिल से हम पोल्यूशन का सॉल्यूशन भी ढूंढ सकते हैं।
Sportspersons also lauded the government's initiative as cycling has numerous health benefits.
आज जो पहल है या साइकिलिंग इंडिया का जो आज इवेंट है, इसके लिए मैं बहुत सारी सरकार को शुभकामनाएं दूंगा, क्योंकि देखो सरकार जो ये ऐसी ऐसी मुहिम है, इन पर काम करना सबसे ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि फिटनेस सबसे पहली चीज़ है। और सरकार का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि इस तरीके के इवेंट जो सरकार कर रही है।
मेरे को इस मुहिम के साथ जुड़ के बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं सभी देशवासियों को यही मैसेज देना चाहूँगा कि आप सभी भी इस मुहिम के साथ जुड़िए और अपने आप को फिट रखिए।
Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the campaign to improve people's health, boost mental well-being and reduce obesity, especially among the youth. Pratik Narayan Singh's report for DD India. And Bihar is set to create history. For the first time ever, the eastern state of India will host Khelo India Youth Games from May 4th to 15th. The 7th edition of this prestigious multi-sport event will be held across 5 cities of Bihar: Patna, Rajgir, Gaya, Bhagalpur and Begusarai. The opening ceremony will take place at the Patliputra complex in Patna. Our report.
Bihar is all set to make history. The state will host the 7th edition of the Khelo India Youth Games from May 4 to 15. This is the first time Bihar will stage this prestigious multi-sport event. Young athletes from across India will gather to showcase their skills and passion. The games will be held across 5 cities of Bihar: Patna, Rajgir, Gaya, Bhagalpur and Begusarai. New Delhi will also host shooting, gymnastics and track cycling events thanks to its world-class facilities. Over 10,000 athletes, coaches, officials and volunteers are expected to take part. This will be one of the biggest sporting events in the country. Khelo India Youth Games began in Delhi in 2018. Since then, the event has travelled to Pune, Guwahati, Panchkula, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu.
Now it's Bihar's turn to shine on the national sports map. The Khelo India initiative is a part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision. The aim is to strengthen India's grassroots sports and make India one of the top sporting nations in the world. Over the years, Khelo India has produced several Olympians and international stars who have made the nation proud.
KIYG 2025 will feature 28 sports, including 27 competitive disciplines. Esports will be included as a demonstration sport, reflecting the rise of digital gaming. Hosting Khelo India Youth Games is a landmark moment for Bihar. It will not only boost sports infrastructure, but also inspire a new generation of athletes. Narayan Singh's report, DD India.
Now in cricket, Royal Challengers Bengaluru secured a narrow 2-run win over Chennai Super Kings in Indian Premier League in Bengaluru. Half centuries from Jacob Bethel, Virat Kohli and Romario Shepherd helped Royal Challengers reach 213. In the chase, Super Kings came really close to beating Bengaluru thanks to Ayush Matre's 94 of 48 deliveries and Ravindra Jadeja's 77 runs not out of 45, but they faltered towards the end. The win took Royal Challengers to the top of the table with 16 points from 11 matches. Now in tennis, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka overcame a second set fight back by 4th seed Coco Gauff to secure a 6-3, 7-6 win and clinch her 3rd Madrid Open title. A dominant Sabalenka won 4 games straight without conceding a point to build a 4-1 lead in the first set. Although Gauff battled back with a break to make it 4-2, the Belarusian secured the set with another break. Gauff broke Sabalenka to go 2-1 up in the second set and held under pressure to build a 5-3 lead. But Gauff's double faults while serving for the set allowed Sabalenka to break back and make it 5-5 before winning the WTA 1000 title in a tie-break. And the Nilgiris in southern India's Tamil Nadu kicked off its much-anticipated summer festival with the 13th annual vegetable show in Kotagiri, Tamil Nadu. The event mesmerized visitors with stunning vegetable sculptures, including a grand 2.5-ton Jallikattu bull crafted from brinjals, radish, carrots and potatoes. Other exhibits celebrated Tamil heritage through Silambam and Thanjavur dolls. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India News Hour. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.